Alright, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and great glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and salutations to the elect pushing his truth to the four corners of the earth in truth and in sincerity. Alright, in this particular video, I want to touch on disease X, the pestilence. And it's going to be somewhat of a short video. I'm on a plantation, so I got to keep my head on the swivel and deal with, things here. So it's going to be somewhat of a short video. You could count this as break time. But anyway, disease X, if you have not heard about it, it's a new disease. X being that they don't know where this new disease come from. If you've ever been in math class, it says X equals what? You got to find out what X is. X means mystery. That's what this is. This is what they're saying. The disease X. They don't know what it is. Even though you have some people coming out and basically saying it's Crown Vic Royale. It's another mutation of Crown Vic Royale. And, when you get into it, that's exactly what it is. If you look at the movie Songbird, and Songbird, Crown Vic Royale mutated and started attacking the brain and started killing people fast. And now, when you look at disease X, what does disease X does? It attacks the brain. What does it do? It attacks the brain, right? And has 100% fatality rate, man. So, hey, there you go. They showed you already in the movies, and it's just me. That's just me speaking as a man. Making connecting the dots between the movies and disease X. Songbird. But there you go. But right now you have them talking about disease X. This is more deadlier than Crown Vic Royale. All right, but hey, let's get Matthew 24. We're going to start at 6 and we read. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. We're hearing that right now. We're hearing of Russia and Ukraine going to war with each other. We're hearing the rumors of wars. We're hearing China about to start mixing with America. China about to start rolling on Taiwan. Taiwan is backed by America. So if China roll on Taiwan, well, America going to have to get involved, right? So there you go. We got a rumor of war going on. That's just a little example. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. See that? And there shall be famines. Pay attention. Now we're seeing the famines come across that's prophecy jumping off of the page too. They're talking about a everything shortage. Pardon me real quick. I'm sort of parched, so hold on. But yeah, they said they're talking about an everything shortage. All right, and that's exactly what it sounds like. That's a shortage on everything. All right, so that's aiming toward the famine. Brothers doing videos on that. I did a video as well. So if you want to, if you're interested in learning about that, you can click on that video. Go through the videos. But they talking about that everything shortage. So we see the famines about to come. All right. How about this one? It says and pestilences. So that's more than one pestilence. Because you got some people that think, well, the pandemic, since the Crown Vic Royale happened, the pestilences, that prophecy came and gone already. Not so. You got many of things coming down the pipeline. You have hemorrhagic fever. You have talks about that, airborne Ebola. That's a hemorrhagic fever, a bleeding fever, because the hemorrhaging is what? To bleed. And a fever, you know what a fever is. You're talking about a bleeding fever. Hey, man. They talking about that? They talking about other shit, bro. Stuff that makes your skin break off into sheets. Now they talking about disease X, a disease that attacks the brain, has 100% fatality rate. Hey, see that? Pestilences. It's about time that you get yourself right, man. For the Lord put you to death. All right? You were made not to shake your ass and have a fucking good time here in Babylon. You were made for a specific reason. And what is that reason? To serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, to practice these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the whole duty of man. Alright? Now you can, get yourself a drink and enjoy the family and shit while you're doing that, but all must be done in order. All right? In a way where you worship Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai in everything that you do. Anyway, continuing, it says, and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Let's touch on this, and we're going to exit this out. I'm on a plantation. And Salakia for getting a little distracted. I got to keep my head on the swivel out here, I just got to keep my head on the swivel. For those, you know, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
What a virus 20 times. World leaders gathering in Davos, Switzerland this week are going to discuss disease X, a hypothetical virus 20 times deadlier than COVID-19. Addressing a global pandemic is also something that a next U.S. president might face. But what exactly is a disease X? According to the World Health Organization, disease X represents the knowledge that a serious international epidemic could be caused by an unknown pathogen. Let's bring in Dr. Amish Adalja. He is a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Thanks so much for being with us. COVID-19 has killed almost 7 million people worldwide. What would a virus 20 times deadlier be like? And is that a possibility that we could see in our lifetime?
It's definitely a possibility, because if you look at COVID-19 and compare it, for example, to the 1918 influenza pandemic, you can see that it is magnitudes less deadly than 1918. And there are strains of viruses that have very high mortality rates that could develop the ability to transmit efficiently from human to human. If we did so poorly with something like COVID-19, you can imagine how poorly we would do with something like a 1918 level event.
Do we know, and maybe this is one of the things they're trying to work out, but where a pathogen like that could originate from as these world leaders think about how to combat such a thing?
Likely these types of pathogens are going to be respiratory viruses, and they may be viruses that are circulating in certain animals.
Slakia, like I said, I was on the plantation. But anyway, hey, as you heard, this is more deadlier than the Crown Vic Royale. They say 20 times more deadlier. Now they acting like they don't know where the hell this thing comes from. Now look, you could just type in disease X on your YouTube search engine, and you'll realize, well, it's the same type of story or the same scenario with the Crown Vic Royale, where it came from, how it's been released, so forth and so on. All right. Nonetheless, the Lord is releasing this, man. All right. Because you have some people that say, well, Esau is releasing this disease. How's that the Lord? Well, does it not say that the Lord had created the smith that blow the coals in the fire to bring forth the weapons of his indignation? See, the Lord takes credit for what? The nukes as well. All right. He created the nuclear scientists to create them. All right. And then in this point, he created these motherfucking scientists in these laboratories, man, to bring forth what? Diseases, pestilence. All right. So let's hop right back in this video. And Salaki, once again, I gotta keep my head on the swivel, but I hope this is edifying.
Species, but are not able to transmit yet efficiently between humans. So that could be in bats, like COVID-19. It could be in birds, like bird flu, or it could be some other type of animal species, swine, for example. And it's really about that interface between humans and animals where interactions are occurring that these types of viruses get a foothold. Most of them will die out. But what we worry about is one that can spread efficiently, the way 1918 did.
And so what kinds of preparations might they be talking about? And are there certain roadblocks that we learned about from COVID-19 that just need to be cleared in terms of, I guess, well, within individual countries, but then also cooperation across countries? What kinds of topics do you think they're talking about as they discuss disease X?
The whole idea of disease X is about being proactive, to look at the myriad types of viruses that can infect humans and kind of narrow in on certain viral families that are most likely to harbor a pandemic pathogen and start working in those families, even if we don't know which member of those families, or even if it's an unknown member of those families, might cause it, the next pandemic or epidemic. So that means thinking about what do you need to do to make a vaccine? What are the antiviral targets? What type of diagnostic tests do you need to have in place? Should we be doing wastewater monitor? All of those types of questions are being contemplated in the effort to be proactive. And what we learned from COVID-19 is is that there are obstacles. We have regulatory and bureaucratic obstacles, and we also have this lack of transparency. For example, in the early days of COVID, it was clear in China that this was spreading efficiently from person to person, yet that wasn't the official line from China for some time, and the world was caught flat-footed. So I think there are many roadblocks and many problems from COVID-19 that we can't afford to repeat again with the next pandemic when it occurs.
And would you include, when you say transparency, are you also including just misinformation or the inability of information to reach a trust level with certain populations that allows people to act on it or at least get a message out in the public health sphere?
Definitely. I think that what we see now is this distrust between infectious disease physicians, public health practitioners, and the general public, because what happened is politicians injected themselves into this, and then it kind of got filtered through all that tribal lens that politics often brings to an issue, and that's something that we're already seeing problems with. For example, with measles outbreaks in Philadelphia that are fueled by anti-vaccine sentiment. So yes, that is part of it, that the people may not actually be receptive to the protective actions that are being recommended by public health officials, and that's going to come back and make things much more harder than they need to be.
You see that? So they're basically touching on disinformation right there. See, hey, things is about to turn up. Hey, that was a hint on the famine of the word. Because don't forget, they're attacking hate speech, disinformation, misinformation on all different levels, man. When it comes down to talking about the elites, revealing who the false, them small hats are, and revealing who they are. When it comes down to talking about Crown Vic Royale, they're hitting you with disinformation, misinformation, cyberbullying, hate speech, certain code words they got out there. Certain things they got in place to give them ability to take your videos down and all of that. Eventually, we're going to be taken off of the highways and byways, taken off of the internet, and before you know, the family of the word. But this video was just to really touch on disease X. But I hope it was edifying. Like I said, I'm on the plantation. And with that, shalom.